morning and welcome to your Friday, September 20, 2024 edition of the Evening News. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for joining us. Let's take a look at some of the lead stories tonight. Government working on short-term energy solutions until GTE project fires up, says PM. Blockchain technology for government agencies to prevent records tampering, says JAGDEO. E-ID cards to be issued this year. Persons 14 plus can apply. 261 million pump station commissioned at COZIER Village, and NORTON vows to scrap government's plan to make bridges toll-free. Now for the news in detail. As the demand for power rapidly increases, the Guyana government is working on a number of short-term solutions to meet the energy needs of the country until its model gas-to-energy project becomes operational in the first half of next year. Vanu Manichand reports.
Currently, peak demand of electricity in Guyana is about 205 megawatts, a noteworthy increase compared to 189 megawatts just 2 months ago. According to Prime Minister Mark Phillips, who has responsibility for the country's energy sector, this incremental increase in power demand requires government to keep ahead of that growth.
We had a 36 megawatt a couple months ago that offered some relief. We now engaging other suppliers, other contractors for 60 additional megawatts before the end of the year. And we have to do this in the short term as we wait anxiously the commissioning of the gas-to-energy project that will bring the 300 megawatts, which will put all of us in a good position, but again, not for too long.
Government's model gas-to-energy project at VOWS, West Bank Demerara, consists of a natural gas liquids facility and a 300 megawatt power plant that is slated to come on stream in the first half of 2025. But even as the NGL facility and power plant are under construction, government is already talking about phase 2 of the gas-to-energy project.
Any government, whether it's PPP or NC or APNU, will have to continue to adhere to some level of strategic thinking and planning for the future. And that's why, as we complete GTE, Gas to Energy 1, we have to focus on Gas to Energy 2. And I must thank Exxon and our planners, Bobby, Winston and others, that in approaching the current gas energy project, they didn't just bring or build a pipeline that could only satisfy that 300. They themselves were looking into the future. So they built a pipeline that could accommodate additional gas and therefore additional energy development projects.
Only earlier this week, government invited interested companies to submit proposals for a second power plant and NGL facility at VOWS. In phase 1 of the gas-to-energy project, the 300 megawatt power plant and NGL facility will be powered by natural gas that will be piped from the Liza fields in the Stabroek block to onshore. However, those facilities will only use 40% of the pipeline's capacity. Hence, government is seeking proposals as part of phase 2 that would utilize the remaining 60% pipeline capacity, bringing an additional 75 million cubic feet of rich gas per day onshore. As such, qualified firms are invited to submit proposals to design, finance, and operate a 250 megawatt power plant to deliver 2,100 gigawatt hours of electricity per annum and sold to the Guyana Power and Light Company. It also caters for the design, construction and operation of another NGL facility to produce at approximately 6,000 barrels per day of NGL products such as propane, butane and C5 gasoline. Reporting for the Evening News, Vanu Manikchand.
Vice President Dr. JAGDEO has announced that the administration is working towards introducing blockchain technology into several government agencies in a bid to prevent records tampering. Here are the details from Michael Henry.
We've also committed ourselves to use blockchain technology in two areas, particularly the land records in this country and also in GGMC, the mine records.
Vice President Dr. JAGDEO on Thursday announcing government's intention to pursue the use of blockchain technology at the Guyana Geology and Mines Commission as well as the Lands and Survey Commission. Blockchain technology is a decentralized distributed ledger that stores the record of ownership of digital assets. It helps in the verification and traceability of multi-step transactions needing verification and traceability. According to VP JAGDEO, the implementation of this technology would be a game changer in light of concerns about records tampering at the GGMC and Lands and Survey.
Say if you apply in August and someone comes to apply for the same piece of land in September, I'm supposed to get it because I applied in August. Now, the person, if they can disappear my record, then the person in September might get it. And we've had complaints that sometimes records are tampered with. With blockchain technology, which is the basis on which bitcoins are issued, you cannot go back to alter any record. Cannot do that. It will be impossible to alter previous records. So we're looking at projects to now start looking at blockchain technology in those areas, particularly where records could be tampered with.
The Vice President said considerations are being made to introduce this technology at other government agencies. Michelle Henry, The Evening News.
The government is aiming to begin the issuance of electronic identification cards to citizens this year, according to Vice President Dr. JAGDEO. Let's find out more from Luanda McAllister.
We are hoping that before the end of the year, they start issuing the first ID, and it will take about almost a year to get everyone issued with an ID across the country.
Vice President Dr. JAGDEO on Thursday providing an update on the issuance of electronic identification cards to citizens. The Vice President said he expects a large uptake very quickly since the new identification cards will become essential to everyday life and transactions.
It would be hard to function without that ID card in the country. When you go to the bank, they may very well use the number on the ID card for there will be a connection with your TIN, with your bank account, with your maybe immigration records, your patient record in the system. So one card that will connect you to almost everything else, because the unique numbering system that we are putting in place on each card would allow those systems, even developed separately, to seamlessly integrate with the use of this one card.
JAGDEO said persons aged 14 and older will be eligible to apply. He envisions that persons will be able to apply for these documents through various centers countrywide. Non-citizens would also be required to have an EID. In March 2023, a U.S. $35.4 million contract was signed by the Guyana government with German-based company Veritas Identity Solutions for the EID card project. President Dr. Irfan Ali had previously stated that the rollout of this resident electronic ID card will promote the ease of doing business and personal transactions in Guyana. Luanda McAllister, The Evening News.
Minister of Housing and Water Colin Crowell addressed the gathering of international leaders at the 8th India Water Week being held in New Delhi. In his address, the minister spoke about global water scarcity and the impacts of climate change on water availability, sharing examples and best practices from Guyana on water management. Here's a glimpse of the minister's presentation.
Many of us believe that water is a never-ending resource. So oftentimes our attitude to water is lackadaisical. We are not purposeful in the way we treat our access to water sources. And now we are confronting the woes of water. This opportunity for us to be here today and over the next few days to share this space and exchange our perspectives on how we can continue to harness our water sources for development, but also manage it so that it will remain available for generations to come. Guyana is known as the land of many waters, but our rapid macroeconomic growth in recent years as a result of the emerging petroleum sector has provided new opportunities and challenges for its potable water supply sector. Crucial areas of focus include increasing access to potable water supply for coastal and hinterland communities, increasing treated water coverage, reducing non-revenue water by upgrading and replacing aged distribution mains in our capital city, and modernizing the sewage and wastewater infrastructure. Access to potable water by citizens on the coastline is 98.8%, while in the hinterland and riverine communities, 82% of the more than 200 communities do. Despite its water abundance, Guyana's water availability is vulnerable to droughts. Additionally, we are focused on emission reduction programs through the incorporation of alternative energy sources like photovoltaic systems for pumping in the hinterlands and the use of biogas in future wastewater treatment plants for our capital city, Georgetown. We also intend to build infrastructure that are more resilient to climate change by using simulation models to monitor groundwater and surface water quality and its availability. I'll be happy to share more of our experience and the methods we are deploying with you, and perhaps we can find alignment in our approaches.
A 27-year-old radio host and singer was this morning busted with a large quantity of marijuana in her possession. Shema Muna of Charlestown, Georgetown, has since admitted to possession of the illegal substance, claiming that she needed to make extra money to offset medical bills for her mother. The bust was made at around 5 hours 47 during a stop-and-search operation at Weldad Public Road. The woman was driving motorcar PAB 6190, which was stopped and searched by the police officers. A search of the trunk revealed several parcels wrapped with transparent plastic containing the suspected narcotics. Muna was informed of the offense, arrested, and cautioned, after which she allegedly confessed to the crime. The confiscated drugs, along with the suspects, were escorted to the Weldad police station, where the ganja was weighed and amounted to over 30 pounds. We now tell you that 30-year-old Meshach Pierre, a mammologist and conservation specialist, was yesterday found dead in a mining camp at Okubak Dam, Region 7. Police said a suicide note addressed to the man's family was found in his phone. Pierre was in the area to conduct a mammal survey. At the time of his demise, he was sharing a room with a colleague. The colleague told investigators that Pierre had instructed him not to enter the room because he had a meeting. However, after some time had passed and the team was ready to commence their work, the colleague ventured to the room where he made a tragic discovery. A post-mortem has determined that Pierre died as a result of compression injuries to the neck. Coming up, Norton vows to scrap government's plan to make bridges toll-free. Do stay with us. More news ahead.
Transitions Light Intelligent Lenses. Pick your color. Choose your style. Available at Optique Vision Care.
Factory and dockyard owners, Sylvie's now has in stock the 5000 PSI North Star Heavy Duty Pressure Washer. It delivers industrial strength cleaning power and durability, blasting through the toughest caked-on mud, dirt and debris. Great for prepping concrete surfaces, stripping paint and removing barnacles. Shop now at sylviesonline.com or visit our 31 High and Hatfield Street store. We also deliver. Call or WhatsApp 623-7755 for more info.
No matter the state of your home, you can make it beautiful for any occasion.
NNS Matai Home Goods Warehouse. Simply better.
Welcome back. You're watching the evening news. Opposition leader Aubrey Norton has announced that if his party returns to office following the next elections, then they would rescind plans by the current People's Progressive Party civic government to make 3 major bridges across Guyana toll-free. Find out more in this Vanu Manikchand report.
Last month, President Dr. Irfan Ali had announced that the new Demerara River Bridge and the new Wismar-Mackenzie Bridge, which are currently under construction, will be toll-free when completed. He also revealed plans by the government to acquire the existing Berbice River Bridge from the private investors and also make that toll-free. But according to opposition leader Aubrey Norton, who is also the leader of the People's National Congress, the largest party in the opposition coalition, they would scrap this plan if elected to government at next year's polls.
He did not proceed to say that we will make them free. In principle, we have developed a people-centered development strategy, and we have agreed that our aim will be to put resources in the hands of the Guyanese people directly and indirectly. To make these bridges and so inexpensive will help. But we do not want to, without feasibility study, without actually knowing the cost, etc., for maintenance, we don't want to go down the road like the PPP, while just saying we will make it toll-free, and it's not based on any data that is useful.
Norton further accused the PPPC of wanting to starve the mayor and town council of Linden by making the Wismar-Mackenzie Bridge toll-free.
With specific reference to the Wismar-Mackenzie Bridge, reducing the toll or making it toll-free, however, carries significant financial implications for the Linden municipality, as tolls are one of its main sources of revenues, contributing as much as $70 million annually. As the next government, we will compensate the Linden municipality for the projected revenues it will forego when we reduce the tolls on the Wismar Bridge. In addition, all operating costs, including maintenance, will be the responsibility of central government.
Vice President Dr. Bart Jagdeo had previously argued that the new bridges being constructed will be fixed concrete structures that do not require the level of maintenance as the existing bridges. Meanwhile, the opposition leader went on to outline that his party's national travel and transportation strategy will see the movement of people, goods and services and data across the country be made inexpensive.
We in the PNCRA-PNU view bridge tolls and the construction of bridges in a larger developmental context. That context is informed by our vision of 1, connecting the coast and the hinterland, 2, creating an intercity highway network, such as our proposal to connect Linden and New Amsterdam by a direct road link, and 3, transforming the riverfronts into commercial and recreational zones. Guyanese must be able to travel conveniently and cheaply across the country by different modes of transportation. No one must be prevented from traveling because of inadequate transportation links, poor services, or high cost of travel. We will also seek to minimize the cost of internal air flights without jeopardizing the profitability of private operators.
However, JAGDEO had already ridiculed the opposition's infrastructure plan, saying many of these projects are already underway by the PPPC administration. Reporting for the Evening News, Vanu Manakchand.
A 261 million pump station has been commissioned in COZIER, Lower Pomeroon, Region 2, bringing improved drainage and irrigation to hundreds of farmers and residents in the area. Details in this Michael Henry report.
Farmers of COZIER, Lower Pomeroon, Region 2 are now better equipped to manage their crops following the recent commissioning of a $261 million pump station. During the commissioning event on Thursday, Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa revealed that this pump station will assist some 5,000 acres of farmlands within the area.
This facility here that we are about to commission will serve over, you heard Mr. Lionel say, over 5,000 acres of farmlands. We will rehabilitate. We will rehabilitate and dredge the both canals, the inward canal and the outfall here, so that you can get proper drainage when we have excessive rainfall. We will continue to make investment in this area.
The wooden sluice doors were upgraded to stainless steel and a new 100 cubic feet per second mechanic drain pump was installed. This will divert water that previously flowed from COZIER into the Pomeroon, reducing the risk of flooding in the area. Previously, only one pump was in operation at the pump station. Stressing the importance of drainage and irrigation to the agri-sector, Minister Zulfikar added that there are other locations in which pumps are going to be commissioned throughout the country.
We have another 2 pump stations that are being constructed at the Essequibo coast. In a matter of week, we will commission the Andrew pump station. We have another one at Charity right here that we had some issue with, that we have put a hold on the work to change the design. But you rest assured that you will have a new pump station or new pumps right here at Charity too. We are seeing investment in the Pomeroon. This here is testament to the government's commitment in bringing you development, in bringing you the necessary facility. And we will continue to invest in the people's welfare.
To complement the work of the pump station, the canals will also be dredged and rehabilitated. Michael Henry, The Evening News.
Michael Henry visited the Indigenous Art Exhibition at Castellani House in Georgetown, where he spoke with the curator of the event on the powerful messages behind the pieces on display. Let's have a look.
Various Indigenous artists from across the country have bundled up all of their issues and concerns and taken it to the canvas. They are currently being exhibited at the Heritage Month Art Exhibition at Castellani House, Georgetown. Curator of the event, Pakaya James, spoke with the Evening News about the powerful messages on display.
The idea of pollution and those type of things are key issues that affect the Indigenous communities. It is not necessarily that we went out looking for that to fit into our team, but it is an important topic that should be addressed, and the Indigenous artists want to have addressed, and so we included that. So the idea overall is to present work created by Indigenous artists or those of Indigenous descent, as well as work that would speak to the culture and the heritage of our Indigenous people. So when we were looking for the works, we looked at works that fit that idea. They are maintaining their traditions. They are putting that forward. It is always a good thing.
According to James, pulling off this event was no easy task, and she hopes patrons truly appreciate the work behind the displays.
We had to go into the Heritage Village, identify those craftspersons, and then sort of pick out works from their pieces. So we would have asked them to essentially show us their best pieces, show us the ones that represented their craftsmanship the best. In terms of getting materials in, it's a bit difficult, and so a lot of the artists in those areas, they tend to work with what can be found. And so you've got a lot of the natural fibers, you've got a lot of woodworking, and that's how you end up with artists who are very sculptural, and their works include a lot of natural materials.
Importantly, James underscored the art exhibition is a meaningful way for Indigenous folks to maintain and celebrate their traditions. The exhibition ends on September 30th. Michelle Henry, The Evening News.
And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbour Bridge will be closed to vehicular traffic on Saturday, September 21, 2024 at 3 hours 45 for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Burbisford Bridge is scheduled to be closed to vehicular traffic at 6 hours 30 on Saturday, September 21, 2024, also for a period of 1.5 hours.
CPL Amazon Warriors begins home leg tonight and Vincent leads Ravens to 2-point win over Royals. These and more stories coming up in this evening's Sportcast, sponsored by MacCorp.
I am Bernard, and this is MacCorp Rental. Call me on 622-4037. MacCorp, let's do the work.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality? Or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Sadco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store. Located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rhymeville.
From every nation in the Caribbean, larger than life. We're building legends in this Caribbean nation. We're all in. It's CPL time.
We're all in. Republic Bank, title sponsor and official bank of the Republic Bank Caribbean Premier.
Did you know Guy Super 95 gasoline has an octane rating of 95, the highest rating available in Guyana? This premium fuel is known to enhance the performance of your engine, making it run smoother and more efficiently, leading to better fuel economy and improved performance. Choose Super 95 for more mileage and better overall performance.